business while teaching elementary. Oh, good. We're recording. This is good. And teaching elementary music in Stratford, Connecticut. That's actually where I met her, here in Connecticut. So thanks for moving to Connecticut, Amy. So I get to meet you. And knowing only a few girls from her neighborhood and school. In the summer of
and knowing only a few
2011,
girls.
she planned.
That was me.
I'm hearing a little feedback. Oh, we're good. 2011, she planned a wedding, got married to her optometrist, Dr. John Kirby, moved from the Northeast to Southern, to the South. Hello, culture shock. Completed her master's degree, promoted herself to a Mary Kay free car driver, and joined the top 2% as a sales director in Mary Kay, all within 9 months. And while not knowing anyone in Middle Tennessee other than her husband. And he doesn't wear a stitch of makeup. So that wasn't a great customer for her. Along her past 13-year journey with consistent effort, she's earned 51 Gorgeous Star Prizes. She's been on the National Court of Sales 10 times, earning 10 diamond rings for her personal sales of over $40,000 per year. She and her unit have achieved the prestigious level of 300,000 all the way to 350,000 2 times, and 500,000 unit clubs receiving 3 diamond bar pins. In 2017, hold on to your hats for this one. You will be shocked to hear this. Amy was recognized on a billboard in Times Square during the holidays for her achievements that year. That's a big deal. That's like kind of a big deal, because who else on here has been featured in Square? Not me. And so that's pretty awesome. Over the past 14 years, she's earned 7 free cars, including 3 prestigious, brand new, fully loaded pink Cadillacs. Amy's highest paycheck has been in excess of $12,400 in 1 month. Amy's favorite Mary Kay fact is that it was because of her dreams, work ethic, and dedication to her Mary Kay business that her husband decided to open up his own, very own dream business of private optometry practice, Modern Eye Gallery in Mount Juliet, Tennessee. You never know whose dream is attached to yours. Amy is passionate about glorifying God and adding value to people's lives as she continues to grow her business. She never would have dreamed that in her kit, which she would find cars, diamonds, executive level paychecks, lifelong sisters, travel, confidence, and a faith stronger than she had ever had before. It is Amy's dream that all women become a Mary Kay beauty consultant for at least just 1 year in their lives to take action with faith. You never know what may come out of your starter kit. So please welcome future executive, senior pink Cadillac sales director, Amy Kirby. Fun to hear all that truth about your story.
So fun. It is so fun to hear your accolades. Y'all should write accolades for yourself and read them to yourself, from time to time, because it does feel good. It's like, oh yeah, I have done all those things. Amazing. Huh. That's cool. Well, thanks for being here, you guys. I'm so excited about this. This is just like pure girlfriend time, like for real. In fact, I want to be able to look at the chat. So I'm going to open my chat over here. And this is the first time I've done my makeup in this space. So I tried to put a lot of good lighting above me. In fact, you might have seen me fiddling with one of the lamps that just went off, but hopefully it will not give me any trouble. We're just going to say that it's going to be great. And then, so yeah, I think lighting is kind of a big deal when you're doing your makeup. Actually, it is a very big deal. And maybe I could start by saying, wherever you do your makeup, see if you can make it into the brightest, like most daylight lighting possible. In fact, in this room, this is my Mary Kay little studio, as I call it, in my house. And I have these light bulbs that are like daylight light bulbs. You can get them in like pretty much anywhere, but at Home Depot. And when people walk in here, they're like, whoa, it's bright in here. Well, it also like awakens my day a lot too. Like I can walk into my room and be like, oh, I feel like it's like sunny out, even though I'm sitting in my office. But anyway, either that or in a window where you can get fresh like daylight on your face. So anyway, welcome. I have a clean face. I didn't take all of my eyelashes off because I feel like, or my mascara off because you really can't see my eyelashes anyway. But I washed my face. I put on HA booster and my moisturizer and some eye cream. And where I'm going to start right now is I'm going to add, because it's winter, the purple pudding, the oil-free hydrating gel. This is because my moisturizer does okay, but I like an additional layer because my makeup, there was a conversation I was having with one of, I think it might have been you, Marksy, where when it was starting to get a little drier, the purple pudding, right? We were like, gosh, do you feel like you need to change your foundation or something about this time of year? And, you know, I did change my foundation from matte to luminous. And I also added this into my routine, and I wouldn't see like little flakiness, like any kind of like, do you know what I mean? It's not like it was dry, but it just goes on so much smoother when I use this additional layer of moisturizer. I use that morning and night, honestly, because you can never, it's like you can never not have enough water, right? Like drink your water, ladies. And I don't think there is, well, there is too much moisture for your skin. We can find that balance for you though. So, okay. And I have my little mirror here, so I'm not necessarily doing everything in my, in the camera. The other thing I use, I already put eye cream on, but I also use the Indulge Soothing Eye Cream, which has been around forever and ever. It's just a cult favorite, and it helps to, it has extracts, forget the extracts right now, but it cools and it just helps to keep moisture in that area, which is really important because, you know, as we tend to get more interesting and more wisdom in our lives, we find finer lines, especially around our eyes, and it can get a little crepey and dry looking right there. And so this also helps me with that. So 2 little tips. I would suggest getting out a pen and a paper or your lookbook and look for these things and circle them and be like, I should try that. I should try that, you know, so that you, as you go tonight, like it just might be a little reminder. Or you can also just say, ooh, I need that. And if your consultant's watching with you tonight, they'll know by looking in the chat that you need that item or you want to put it on a wish list. Okay. So we can keep track of that too, if you're not wanting to keep track of it yourself. Okay. So the next step for me is a little bit of primer. So we're doing eye primer first. And a lot of times, most of the time, I'll use my finger to add my eye primer. I think this looks like Elmer's glue. It's white. And it kind of does the same thing. It just helps for your eye colors to stay and not crease, and also get the right pigment instead of like kind of a puny pigment. It gives you more of a pigment that is the color that you're looking at, instead of this like false weak pigment. So, okay, there's that primer, eye primer done. Yeah, for product tips. And then foundation primer. Can't live without it. Most of my customers call it spackle for your face. And I mean, it's amazing. Like you can even watch this happen almost on screen. Like it just fills in the cracks. It just smooths everything out. It also helps your foundation to go on a little smoother. So again, like you want to prep your canvas, just like when you paint a wall, you add primer first, right? Before you paint it, and it goes on way smoother, and it's worth that effort. Okay. Yay. So I didn't tell you. Uh-oh, where did I put it? This is good. Oh, good. It was just sitting in my printer. I knew it wasn't far. But tonight we're going to do the Blushing Beauty color look. That is what Mary Kay put out for us to use for Valentine's Day. Do y'all celebrate Valentine's Day or Galentine's, perhaps? Like, I like to celebrate my girlfriends. In fact, today I did get my hair cut. Thank you, Angelique. You're so kind for noticing. Got my hair cut. And I took a little Galentine's gift to my girl. You know, I love to like make this month be a month of love in general. Like I'll always have little gifts that I can just hand out to my people, just like gifts of kindness. And so anyway, I brought her one of the new hand creams, y'all. Oh man, do we love these hand creams or what? I mean, consultants, have you gotten yours yet? Let me just read really quickly about them. So they're blooming scents for uplifting moments. If there's anyone in this world that needs some uplifting during the winter, it's me. Hence the lighting in my room too. Winter blahs are a thing, but these scents, you guys, they are so delicious that you could almost eat them. It says, make me time more enjoyable with fresh self-care inspired by scents of the season. These are 3 luxurious hand creams featured. They feature decadent textures and uplifting aromas that revive from wrists to fingertips. You guys, these are really, they're light scents. They're very wearable scents that don't overwhelm the senses. Like I have some experience in my head of scents that just like take me and want to like shake me. Well, these are like uplift me, like for real. Mary Kay did, like, they don't mess around with their scents. You guys don't mess around with nothing, but mandarin and rose. These are the 3 scents: mandarin and rose, wildberry and passion flower, mango and orange flower. Personally, I like the last 2, but anyway, definitely check these out and, you know, get all 3 because you're not going to just want one. Trust me. Yeah. Anyway, okay, back to what I was doing. So we're going to do the blushing beauty look. And one thing I've learned about any of the looks that Mary Kay puts out, they are great for any skin tone. Now, do you need to alter a little bit, perhaps, because we don't all look the same? Maybe a little bit, you know, go one way or another. But I'm telling you, like I don't know, maybe that's partly, I don't know. Can I wear all of the colors? I'm a neutral, like ivory beige, maybe, but I'm just saying, like, always try the colors before you judge them because they surprise me a lot. So, okay, I'm going to start out by adding CC cream. Now that everything's kind of set, and we're going to do CC cream all over, and I'm using very light, and it just evens out my skin tone and is a nice like base. But I will be putting on foundation in a little bit, like a regular, like our liquid foundation in just a little while. So, okay. I put it on my eyes just a little bit, blend that out.
Do you do this to add a little moisture or to do redness? What do you like?
Yeah, so I mean, if you can see that it did even out my cheeks, which were a little bit redder. And I also have like just a little bit of blemishes going on. And if I wanted to stop there with my foundation, I totally could. But especially because I'll put a powder on here in a little bit. But I just like that unmade up look some days. But it does help me with the it helps with the evenness, I think, even more so, but the coverage, the double coverage. This is something Lori Hogg taught me years ago, and I've just always done it, especially in the winter. I'll double up. So CC cream, and then where are we going next? We're going to go into just do the eyes, and then I'll put my foundation on after that. Okay, so here we go with eyes. This is the fun part. So I'm gonna read from our little blushing beauty and follow the directions here, but we're starting with a liquid eyeshadow in Pink Starlight, and love these. Tell me if you've used these pink or the Pink Starlight or the what are they all called? You can tell me, but all these liquid eyeshadows. Have you used these before, and what are your thoughts? Do you like them? as much as I do because I kind of think they're the bomb. So just apply as so. I personally like pink starlight every day. Yes. I personally like to take just any kind of like this is just an all over brush and just blend out the edges a little bit. Oh, you know what I also usually do before this? And just because like I'm nervous and thinking about, I'm not really that nervous, but I'm like thinking about like, okay, I got to keep going. I a lot of times will put all over my lid this like the same color as my skin tone. So this is, what is this? Sandcastle or biscotti. I'll put that all over my lid, even underneath my cream color. I just find that I like a powdery base over my eye primer. That's me. Okay. I think that anything, especially if I'm doing powders, like just all powders, I'll put the Sandcastle or Biscotti, whichever one, or it could be hazelnut, perhaps, if you're a little deeper. But especially if I'm using just those, like a powder, like our Chroma Fusion powders, then they just blend so much easier, in my opinion. So, okay. So one thing I just noticed though, is I'm going to go back and put this a little bit higher because I want it to go above my crease. Okay. So that you can, when I'm looking at you, you want to be able to see that color. And some of this might be because of the lighting. I can't quite see.
I think it looks good, Aim. I think it's blending really well.
Good. Okay, good. All right. Thanks. Thanks so much. All right. The next step, I need a blending brush. And it's probably sitting here somewhere. Here it is. And it suggests using Sunlit Rose to the outer corners of the eyelids and along the lower lash lines. And we're going to use the blending brush. This is just like a rounded brush. It kind of reminds me of a miniature, big, fluffy brush. Okay. And I use this a lot for my creases. So, okay. If by chance you are someone who is afraid of shimmer on your lids, I am also kind of one of those people. And so I tried this look today, in fact, dropping brushes. And I did use the pink starlight. Isn't that what that's called? Nope, the Sunlit Rose. Sorry with names, you guys. I do the best I can. The Sunlit Rose in the corner. And I did what it says to do with that shimmer. And I didn't mind it, even though I kind of get a little bit like, oh, I don't know, shimmer right up there. That's a little wild for me. I'm not so sure. I was kind of amazed at how it turned out, like not as accentuating my, my thinner skin up there, right? Like I thought it was all right. Now, you could probably go with Dusty Rose, which is really close to the same color. This one's shimmer, that one's matte. So there's an option for you. They're very close in color. But this one almost imitates, the Sunlit Rose almost imitates the pink starlight. Well, let's see what it does. So we're going to add it up on the outer corner and blend it over. I think it just kind of lifts and brightens. It has a slightly brighter pink to it, I think. Going back, get some more.
It is so funny how just like one slight little change impacts. It's like, it's ever so slight, but then when you look up, I'm like, oh my gosh, I totally see that. Like I totally see a difference in your eyes.
Isn't that interesting? I like it way better than I thought I would. And I'm glad that they put these things together for me because I never would have tried that, Yeah. And then it suggests to take, now I have an eyeliner brush that is from Lori Hogg, I think, but it's suggests to put a little bit below, like on the lash line below. So I'm going to do that. I also think that's a nice touch.
Yeah.
Okay.
A little softer than using a liner. That like it's nice to use the eyeshadow as the liner. I think that's smart.
Me too. And it just kind of like, what did it say? It says it creates dreamy depth. So I like that. I like the dreamy depth. Okay. Questions, comments, simple, right? You guys, this is so simple. But to be honest, I use these colors a lot. I meant to say that in the beginning. Like I don't just wear these pinks during Valentine's. I use them a lot. And if you haven't noticed, pinks are super trendy right now. And so, yeah, I mean, not just because it's the month of love and Galentine's and all, it's just a really trendy color. In fact, isn't it like bright pink, like that hot pink? I forget the real word for it, but like it's the Pantone color of the year, if I remember correctly. I know, right? Okay, next is the eyeliner. And I try not to tug, but I do like kind of push it down just a little bit so I can get to the edges. But we're going to put on my black eyeliner, and that's what it suggested. And then smudge out the liner, which does soften it a whole lot. And I love that. It almost looks like steely up close. And I mean, softening the black is such a nice effect. So
that dreamy depth that you're
going for dreamy.
They were promising.
That's
Those
right.
Mary Kay makeup artists designing
That's
these
right.
gorgeous looks for us.
That's right. Dreamy depth. That's what we're headed for. All right. Loving that. Okay.
You're getting compliments, Amy, too. Susan D said, that's pretty, Amy.
I love compliments. Easy, no skills required. Isn't that what we want? Like, we just want it to work and go. Like, it's a great little dash out the door trick. Okay, I think my foundation brush fell to the floor. So we're going to go back to foundation. Ooh, I'm working myself up. It's hot in here now. Okay. Y'all, what do you want to know about me?
Yeah, let's learn about Amy.
Oh man, guys, this is fun.
Amy, when I first met you, you were living here in Connecticut and you were a teacher. You were working really hard. And you met some fun friends here in Connecticut. And then when you moved to Tennessee, you still seem to keep in touch with some people. Do you feel like having a Mary Kay business has like allowed you to keep in touch with people that maybe you would have lost touch with in your moving and shaking life?
Oh man, certainly. Oh, that's a good point. Well, yes, some of them are either still clients or still consultants on my team, which is super fun. I get to do life with them literally because we'll meet in Dallas or meet at a training somewhere, or yeah, I definitely, and you especially, Liz. I mean, Liz was the one that I almost literally ran into. I was on a run when I met Liz, and for the very first time, and look how much smoother my face is now. You see the difference,
Yes.
like what a little foundation does. Yeah, I love our foundation, and it really covers up a little bit of those blemishes.
And that's Luminous.
So this is the Luminous wear. I'm wearing Ivory 160. We're at our palest point of the year. So yes.
Yeah.
What'd you say?
You're usually always beige to me.
Well, I'm not right now.
Get your foundation checked with your consultant so we can match you appropriately during the year. Because sometimes even we, as consultants, our faces change.
Yeah. Oh, totally. Yeah. I mean, and anytime somebody sees me and they are thinking, man, Amy, that's a little too dark. I mean, please, we should all help each other out, right? Like, hey, it's time to change your foundation. Because, you know, sometimes we just can't see it in the right or in the lighting we're using. Okay, I am going to put a layer of I love our silky setting powders. I really, really, really love them. And I put a layer on right away, and then I'll add, look at just how nice and smooth. It just, oh, it makes it just look more like skin than ever. And if I were to look in my my magnified mirror, that is just tiny magnified here, I can see little brush strokes on one side, whereas on this side now, I cannot see any brush strokes. And I mean, that's even with a clean brush, you know, it's like, it just really, I love, it has little humectant properties to it too. So it helps to keep the moisture in the skin. It's not going to dry out your skin. And so that's part of it that helps so much.
That's a good thing to mention, because I've heard people be afraid of powder because they thought it was going to either look dry, settle into their line. So they're like, oh, I don't know about powder, but this is different. I like that you mentioned the humectants properties.
Yeah, that I mean, I really think that they did a good job at upping our powder. I know it's kind of hard to change sometimes from, you know, one type to another, but let's be real. We always upgrade. They always upgrade. Okay, y'all, let's see. Yes, I love my girlfriends all over, you know, the country. But I'll tell you this, if it wasn't for Mary Kay, I think the move would have been a whole lot harder, because when I moved to Tennessee, from Connecticut to Tennessee, I was introduced to a couple different sales directors that took me under their wing. And one in particular, Candy Brown, she became my adopted sales director, and I went to her meetings every week, and I made immediate friends. I was brought in like right away, and every week I'd see the same people, and we'd have a lot of things in common, and not just Mary Kay, but we'd find other things. And it just, I immediately found my friend group. And that's such a nice way to be able to, you know, I don't know, we'd soon go like out and grab, you know, food after our meeting, or then the next week we'd go out and do some lead generating together, or we'd like, you know, do fun things together that I wouldn't have had that otherwise. And I'm really grateful for that. And now, you know, over time, you just keep building more and more, you know, Mary Kay friends and customer friends, like some of my best customer friends. I think even I saw Grandma Pat on here, and now my awesome customer, Leanne, I think you're on here. Maybe I saw you earlier. Like, it's just like you get to know people so well because we're in contact with each other, and it's just great. I love that part. So anyway, okay, I did my silky setting powder. I'm going to do a little bit of contouring with my under eye corrector and my concealer. I think I have a fuzzy on my face. Don't you love that? Okay, so under eye corrector. Oh yes, Shelby. Hi, Shelby. Yes, at a weekly meeting in Spring Hill. Yes, you might have a better memory of that than, at Monica's meeting, maybe long time ago. In fact, Grandma Pat, I think we became Facebook friends 7 years ago, like today. I think I saw that on Facebook really briefly today. I was like, oh, thank you, Facebook. They keep up with all of that stuff for us, don't they? Okay, so this is just under eye corrector, and that just brightens those little tiny bags that I have. I just got a little baggage, a little bit, just a little bit. And then I like to use my finger, just the warmth of my finger, to kind of like set it in there, just in that spot. Okay, but then if I'm really going at it, I want to do a little highlighting. I'm going to go right up here on the cheekbone, on top of my cheek. Let's see, let me think about this. I have to look in my mirror, remember where I put it. I go down my nose, I go right in here. I go, let's see. Oh yeah, I'll put some
shade you're using?
What'd you say?
You see what shade you're using?
Oh, this is very light.
Okay.
Light ivory, you know, whatever it's called. Okay. So we're going to blend this. You know what? We saw that trick list recently. I'm going to put a little right here too. Why not?
That looks kind of good. I don't even know if you need to blend. Just keep
It's
waiting.
like that.
Should I just go with this? This reminds me of one of the looks that my daughter might create.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I have a 3-year-old now, and she is the joy of my life. She is so much fun, and so difficult all at the same time some days. And she loves the makeup because she's been watching mama put makeup on from day one. So
Yes.
she loves it. Okay, so we're blending that all out. And what I think is pretty amazing about this is like, I mean, even without contouring, you're almost contouring. Like, you know, you are and you're not. Like, it looks like I have blush on. But I don't.
That is so true. Because
Right?
now the area that it didn't get highlighted now looks darker.
Isn't that interesting? Yeah. Okay, but it's all so subtle. Okay, so there's that. And then we get to go into some new products. Who's ready for new products?
Me.
Okay, these little lovelies are, let me get the glow up. Let me get the words for you. They're glow up duos, is what they're calling them. Let's see. Limited edition Mary Kay cream bronzer duo sticks. They come in honey and luster and bronze and shimmer. Which one is which? Honey and luster is the lighter one. Bronze and shimmer is the little deeper one. I will be using honey and luster, but it wouldn't surprise me with a good tan if I could use this one later in the year. But I'm going to use these. They're bronzing sticks, but I am going to use them for contouring. So right where my cheekbone has already kind of created this little, make sure that I don't want this shimmery side right now. So I'm just going to make sure I know which side I'm putting it on. I'm just going to stripe my face. Y'all.
You've earned your stripes.
I've earned my stripes. Yep. Where else do I want to put it? I already did these. Oh,
That jawline's always a good one.
always a good one.
Can't wait to
Okay.
watch this. Oh,
Mm.
fun.
Okay, y'all, it works so nice. They're so creamy. The thing I've learned though with bronzer, or not bronzer, with contouring, oh, get my hair out of the way, is you want to go upward. Okay, you don't want to pull down. You want to mostly bring that color upward.
Smart.
Okay? Because pulling down does nothing for you. Okay, so, and what's nice about these colors is they're very, like, it's very natural. It doesn't look like a bronzer color. Does that make sense? Okay, so you want to go down with the color here. Blend that in.
That's a great brush, isn't it? Isn't that
Oh yeah,
blending brush life?
it's so great. It's so great. Okay, blending up.
Can you also, this is Felicia speaking. Hi, everybody.
Hey,
Amy
Felicia.
Burke, my consultant. Hey, Amy. So can you also use I love my sponges, y'all. Do you also use a sponge, or do you recommend the brush that you're using right now? I think I
You
have
know,
one.
I'm sure you can use the sponge. I am positive you can. The
Got it.
reason why I don't use my sponge as much as
Mhm.
I might normally is because I would have to walk like across a full room to get it wet. Can you believe it? It's just a lot for me. So
Okay.
yeah, no, but I'm sure you can use the sponge. I would, try both and see which one you like better, because this, I think it feels a lot like the sponge
Yes.
in a lot of ways, but yeah, but if you love your sponge,
Use it.
go with it.
Felicia,
Yeah.
that would be a good, Felicia loves our foundation. That would be a
Mhm.
good fit for the foundation too. She's showing it. All of our brushes you can use wet or dry. And so like, I love that you can use them with the creams, you can use them however, but that sponge really emulates that brush emulates a sponge.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah,
Mhm.
did you show us all the new things? Because what you're using is new,
So
all the
let's
colors.
do, yeah. So, okay. So on one side, yeah, I really didn't explain it too much, did I? Thank you. There's one side that is matte, and then the other side that is a shimmer.
Do you have the darker
Oh,
ones?
yeah.
Okay, and this is this is the lighter one, the one that I just
I'm more
used.
darker skin, so I want to make sure I don't
Got the
want to
darker.
I don't want to look ashy.
No,
Yeah,
you do
girl, this
not.
one's for you.
I want to look
This
good.
one is definitely,
There you go. There's your,
Oh, nice.
Okay, so first you put on the foundation, and then I
Mhm.
will put that on, right? Like how you
Mhm.
applied it.
yes, yep. And what I love about it is that, I mean, you can, I mean, they're so blendable that I almost think I could add a little bit more. You wanna, you can blend as much as you want. Does that make sense? Like you can build it, but you don't,
and so what's the honey luster one? Honey and luster is for like ivory beige, and then the
Mhm.
bronze, what's the one for, what's the other one called?
sorry, it's bronze and shimmer. Mhm.
Bronze and shimmer. Oh, perfect. I love it. So there's two
So
different
pretty.
tones.
Yep.
I almost feel like you'd get away with, if you took it higher, it could be a cheek color too, if you wanted a natural.
Oh, for sure.
I think during summer, yeah.
You could add the
Yeah.
shimmer on top, you know, you could pull it higher, add that, keep it matte mostly, and then add a little. We're just playing with these, y'all. I mean, all of us sales directors can get them. So if your consultant is Liz, Amy, or Antoinette, then we can get them now. But everyone else will be able to get them on the 10th or the 15th. So I dig them.
Yeah. We've been
Can I
wishing
ask
for
one more
this.
question? I promise I'm gonna quit talking.
No, I love the
I
question.
love it. This is
So
what it's
look,
for.
so I'm done late a little bit. Okay, so Amy Kirby, I believe you put on some you put on under your eye. Did you say eye correction, right?
Yes,
So what's
that's
the
right.
difference? Okay, so what's the difference between that and concealer?
Great question. The product itself is a lot like a concealer. The under eye corrector, I'm glad you asked this because I really was not at all. Yeah, I did not explain it at all. Under eye corrector, where did it go? It's a peachier color. Where are you?
Okay.
Can I see my friend Felicia?
Oh,
So-
I can't show my face, honey. I just took my braids out.
Never mind.
I'm going
I
I'm in
hear
the
you.
bathroom.
You're totally okay. I understand. Do
You don't
not.
want to see me right now.
Well, I'm glad you're here. That's all that matters.
Right.
So now I know there are many women of color that have great success with this, but then some just, they do not like to make this work. So you would have to try it yourself, and not being, since I don't know your color tone, Amy can help you with that. But
Right.
Antoinette, what do you use this?
For me, I use the concealer is what I use. I don't use the under eye corrector just because
Okay.
it is lighter and my skin is darker, so
Yes.
it doesn't. But I do use like the light beige sometimes on my eyes. If I'm really trying to define my eyes, then I'll kind of do that on my eyes. But most of the time I just use the deep beige, and I don't know the names of the colors.
Antoinette, can you tell us what shade of foundation you are, and then what concealer you do under your eyes? And then I know you just said you use light beige to kind of highlight a little bit. Can you tell us your skin tone colors so we have a reference?
Yes, and I use the 160 for my foundation. You know how you just grab your colors. I don't even know, but I use the 160 for the foundation, and
That's
then
what I have, Antoinette. I use 160.
Yeah,
Okay.
Felicia.
And then
That's
I'll
Amy. Yeah, Amy's okay.
and I'll use the light bronze, kind of like the highlighter things that she did, like the highlighting areas that she did. I'll use that. And then I'll also use the dark bronze, the deep bronze, for the contouring. But I also like the contouring, color in our Chroma Fusion that I'll use, because I really like the way that I can get to it. But I love these new highlighters. They're so nice. I love the little crowns that makes it easy to just kind of put on, like boom, boom. Yeah, and you don't have to worry about the brush trying to get it just exactly. You could just kind of put it in and then blend it.
Love it. Oh, I'm so glad you shared that, because that's perfect. We kind of need to share both, like kind of frame of reference for highlighting and contouring. So, and Antoinette,
Totally.
I love your shirt. It's
I
really
know.
cute. Got a little puff sleeve sass going on over there. I love it. Love it.
Rockin'.
Yes. Perfect. Okay.
Yeah, that's a very good question. So yeah, the under eye corrector for the rest of us, who are lighter, that will, the peach color in there will, so peach and blues and purples on the color wheel are opposite each other. So it will cancel out any blues or purples or shadows. And it will help brighten. There's little brighteners also in our under eye corrector. So that has a little more peach to it. And then this is our concealer in the light ivory, or very light, I forget, light ivory. There's a light and then there's a deep ivory. This time of year, I'm a light ivory, and then I'll go to a deep ivory later on for lightening and brightening. So, okay. Thank you for those
Pretty.
questions, you guys, because it's easy for me. I have ADHD and it's easy for me to just like jump all over the place. So watch out. So what I'm going to do next.
Hey, Amy,
Yeah,
Michelle down here somewhere. I don't know if you can see me.
I can. Hi.
I just thought of something. So because I love that puffiness reducer, the puffiness reducer would go on before the primer. It has to, that's got to go on first because that's got to draw the moisture out, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then the primer, corrector, concealer, powder.
That sounds correct to me, as long as you can use the primer with the puffiness reducer.
That's what I was wondering, because if you use that stuff, it's almost like it does create like a flat, like smooth surface. So yeah, the puffiness reducer, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So I personally am not the best to ask that question to, because I don't find that the puffiness reducer does enough for me to use it personally. Now, somebody else who can use the two of them together, that's why I'm under eye corrector. It kind of just does enough for me.
Yeah.
But does anybody else know the answer to that question? That's a good question. Does anybody use the puffiness reducer and then the primer is basically the question.
I do know people have had varying experiences with putting something that's liquidy on top of the puffiness reducer, because the puffiness reducer goes right on your actual skin. And so the nice thing about that is it goes doop, doop, doop. And if there's any sort of, puffiness, it goes boop and disappears. But I think then when you put like something like a concealer over it and that has some liquid to it, then it goes boop and it comes back. And you're like, oh, I just got rid of you. I do not come back. So I think you kind of want to choose to either get rid of the puffiness or use the concealer, but you can experiment with it because each person is different. So I hate to say everything as an absolute for every human, but I have heard that feedback from a customer of mine. Is like, hey, I did it, but then I put my concealer on and it like popped out. So maybe experiment.
It would be experimental. I'd say keep less liquid, and yeah, I mean, you could use the primer, just not go as close to the eyes. Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Good. I'm loving these questions, y'all. If you are still having questions and I'm digging it. This is what this is for real. Yeah.
This is girlfriend time. Get a little peek into our fun Mary Kay culture. And I am actually curious, Amy Kirby, when you began your Mary Kay journey, I'm feeling like you probably already liked skincare and makeup, but like, do you find because you began a business that you're doing more for your skin than you would have if you didn't start a business?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
So I did like skincare and I was curious about makeup, but I remember going to a Clinique counter or some kind of a counter with my mom and trying purple on my eyes. Like it was just a very light purple. And I was like, oh, that's so intense. And just thinking that's like way out of my league and all of this. So I was definitely very, subdued. Like I only had one eye color that I liked for my eyes and a little bit of powder and some lip gloss. Like it was very, very, very simple. But although I wanted to learn more, I was just kind of shy about it and didn't have anybody like affirming me that it was okay to wear that color or saying that looks really good. But over time with Mary Kay, we would try different color looks. And in fact, what I would do is every single new lookbook, there's always a new color look in here. And so this started 14 years ago, as a new color look would come out, I would try every single one. I didn't care what she looked like, right? Like these girls are different shades for sure, but the colors look amazing on most people. And so I would learn what I liked and what I didn't like so much, or, I just learned from the Mary Kay lookbooks every single quarter. And that was a fun way to really learn, color and then I would also try them on my different clients. I ask for face models, volunteers, of course. So did you see I added some cheek color?
What color?
Yeah.
What'd you do? What'd you do? What
So
color?
this was called, it's one of my favorites. It's called Rogue Rose. I also put my mascara on. It recommends, I love Panorama, which is my favorite mascara, but it also recommends using the Lash Intensity mascara. And I think because, man, it's just a little more dramatic. It's got an extra dark pigment to it, extra black. I remember reading about this when it first came out. It was like extra black pigment. Yeah, you can tell, it just makes your lashes so full and thick. So I always start with my Panorama, and then I do, if I want to go all out, I'll add another layer of my Lash Intensity. Of course, I did a little eyebrow, and I'm not going to focus too much on that unless we have questions there. And then yes, the Chroma Fusion Rogue Rose cheeks are becoming more trendy right now. I don't know if you've noticed that, brighter cheeks are in more of this idea of the cold girl look. You can even bring your color a little bit closer in, because when you get blush, or when you get cold, the cheeks kind of get flushed right in this area. Where'd my cheek brush go? So
I gotta know about that cold girl. All right, tomorrow's gonna be really cold in Connecticut, so maybe I'll try that look. I'll stand outside and be like, look at me, look at my cute makeup. I'm very cold.
Woo! Yeah. And so, and I always take a little bit and just kind of tap it in the, leftovers, right there. So because this is such a neutral, simple eye look, you can play up your cheeks a little bit more. Okay. Anytime I put my cheeks on again, I will take my big fluffy brush, or sometimes even, this is a powder brush that's flat, it's our past powder foundation brush. I'll sometimes even blend with it. Kind of has more of a denser bristle to it. And so blending is key with everything, even with your lashes, even with your brows, to always go back through and just blend it really quickly if you're doing, really good makeup. Okay. Any other questions? Yeah, no, my skincare routine was very basic: Cetaphil cleanser and a little bit of moisturizer that had an SPF 15 in it, drugstore quality. And I knew, because this was, let's see, I was about 32 when I started. So I knew it was time, I needed to up my game. And I am glad that I did at that point. I wish I would have started earlier. So if there's anybody that's younger than that, start now, for sure. But okay, I just put on, lips are so fun. Lips this time of year are tricky because I get the dead dry skin, and it's, even though I'm always putting on lip, I use the Naturally, usually I have one hanging out here, it's the moisturizing stick as my lip balm. It's a big chunky stick. I have them in about every nook and cranny around my house, except for right here, apparently. But anyway, I'm always putting lip balm on. And, but I'm also recently, I should not pick at that, but I get the little chunks, you guys. You got to use your satin lips more in the winter time, right? And hydrate a lot more. I especially it's worse when I have, it's worse when I have to take allergy medicine. If anybody's with me with medicines, that's not fair. It's just not fair. Okay.
I like that you did the primer. I think the primer is a great first step, right? Because it has that age fighting benefits to it. I've had people ask me, is there something I could do to fight aging around my lips? I'm like, that is a great question because we
That
do
is
have a
it.
specific product for this. So when
Mhm.
Amy put that on, not only was she priming her lip for her lip liner that she's putting on right now, she was also giving her lips and the little area outside her lips a dose of anti-aging benefits. But you have to have them formulated the right way. If it says lip
Mhm.
on it, it's for your lips. Say eye on it for your eyes. So amazing.
That's
Lip
right.
primer. Yes. Cindy Geraldo says I never go without my lip primer.
Right? No kidding. I even layer it on there. See, I should not have messed with that little piece of skin. But anyway, I layer it on. I put my lip liner on. This one is the peach. Now, this particular color look suggests coral confetti and as the color, but it's part of our Supreme Hydrating Lipstick. And but we have two new colors and I'm gonna share one of them with you tonight. We have two new lip colors, one being Pretty in Pink. Isn't that right? Isn't that the name of it? Let's see, where am I gonna put this? Pretty in Pink. And typically this would be my favorite one, but we're not gonna go this bold tonight. This really raspberry color.
Looks good on everybody that I've tried it on. Everybody loves that raspberry.
Why can I not see anything? Because I don't have my glasses on. Somebody tell me the names of these, but there they are.
Oh, they look so good.
Aren't those so pretty? You guys, I love them. Okay, so we're gonna do the light pink one. Oh, I should know the names of these.
That's what I'll look
Berry
it up for you, man.
raspberry. I was right. Think of pink. Think of pink and berry raspberry. Okay, perfect for Valentine's Day glam. And yes, your sales directors can get them. And anybody who did PCP or was a star gets to order on the 10th, you guys. So, all right, we're almost done. Now, I carried this around with me all day long, and these Supreme Hydrating Lipsticks, they are literally that Supreme Hydrating. Like they keep your lips so hydrated. Like, in fact, I believe it helped to heal my lips during today, like all day long, because I just deal with dry lips a lot. So hydration meets lipstick in this fiercely supreme formula with intense color payoff, now in 2 more shades. So we have, I think, maybe 8 or 9 of these colors already, but these we are adding to the collection. And they're 18 each, and they're lovely, 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 lovely. So, okay, do not do what I do and pick at your skin. Don't do that. I'm being the perfect example of what you should not do, as well as what you should do. I think my
Beautiful, Amy.
the last thing I would always do is use my setting spray, finishing spray. Not that I need to do this right now because I'm going to be taking it off in about 20 minutes. So it's that. But what do you love the most? What do you think, guys?
I love that lip color on you. It's so
Me
cute.
too. How do they wear? Long wear. Okay, this is what I found. That raspberry color stays nicely on my lips. Any lighter colors tend to be one I'm applying more often, but they're kind of like the subtle colors from before where you would just put them on kind of like almost like a chapstick. But y'all, they have vitamin E for sure, A and E in them. So they definitely they help to heal, which is a good thing.
They really do.
Mhm.
I like that shimmer on your eye. I really feel like from putting the liquid on first and then kind of layering that other shimmer pink right on top. That looks just really nice. And you're getting, I hope you can see these comments. You're getting compliments like pouring in. Everyone thinks you're beautiful, which is totally
Well,
okay.
thank you. Okay, y'all, I forgot one more thing. So stay with me for just 3 more minutes. Okay, so this though is the other cream highlighter. It's a duo stick. It's the other new product that I wanted to share tonight. So highlighter in 2 different types of highlight. I think I'll do one on each cheek so you can see a little bit of a difference. Okay, so one side is a lot brighter. Okay, you see that? And like a little bit iridescent. And then this side is kind of more of a neutrally shimmer. Okay, so, oh, you can really see the difference this way. Okay, so I'm gonna do the bright white on one side and you apply up here maybe, and maybe like right there. And sometimes you can apply right there. I also took a brush and put some right in the corner of my, just to brighten right there. Okay, and then honestly, I just blended with my finger so far with this. Where else did I put it? There we go. You can add a little bit to your nose.
Pretty.
Can you see the difference?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
like ever so slight, but isn't it funny? Each little thing does a little slight thing and it makes a difference. Looks pretty.
Right? It's just a tiny, now, and that's what's good is that especially when you're using contouring and highlight, you don't need to come out looking like a disco ball or a jack-o'-lantern. Like that's not the point. But these cream colors will blend really nicely. I might even, this is something I'm kind of experimenting with, but I might have done that cream before and then add the blush. I forgot about it. So personally, I think the cream does better underneath the blush, but that might, I don't know.
I learned that too, like doing creamier things before powders. It's just kind of the way it layers is nice. I mean, this is a stunning look.
I love it. Y'all, I really think that this is something that everybody can try and should try. And I would love to answer any other questions, anything about anything. One thing I do want you to do though, any customers who are watching tonight, please follow up with your consultant and tell them what you enjoyed the most about tonight. If this was helpful, this is the first time we've done like a little girlfriends hangout like this and doing makeup like this for, I mean, really a long time. So let us know what you think. And also you'll, just by doing that, you'll be able to be put into a fun drawing. Every time you watch something with us, you get put into a drawing for $100 Amazon gift card. And we're going to be doing that drawing very soon. But I'd love to hear what you love the most. Your eyes and lips really popping. You're beautiful. Thank you, Cindy. Thank you. Congrats for our consultants who are here tonight. Congrats, congrats.
And I was gonna say, save the date for being a achiever, the earrings this month for consultants. When you earn your earrings this month with the Golden Achievers, then you can be invited back March 2nd. And Antoinette, who's above me, I don't know if she is where y'all are looking. Antoinette will be teaching the look that she'll choose. I'm so excited to learn. Yes, so March 2nd, same time. So yeah, customers are always invited. Consultants, you know, get to see in those faces and be back here and hang out. So fun. I love it. Ames, can you review the eyes real fast? This Pink Starlight. What was it again?
Pink Starlight. I used, and I put in my palette just for examples only, but I often use sandstone all over my lid, or biscotti if you're a little lighter. I put Dusty Rose in my palette tonight only because if you're thinking you don't want the added shimmer, I think it's very similar, but the one that I used was Sunlit Rose.
Okay, Sunlit Rose. Cool.
So it's just those two colors.
Sunlit
Really.
Rose.
Well, yeah. Yep. And did you see I put on my raspberry lips?
Oh, I like
It's a
that
little
on
bold
you.
for this whole look, but I do love this color. Just so you
I
know.
love the raspberry. That's what I have on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Looks good. You do look all glam. I love it. All right, y'all. Well, I'm going to stop this recording. Yes. And you're